But the Control ending and the Synthesis ending, in my opinion, are the two worst endings, because really the Control one, just, I don't like it, and the Synthesis one, in my opinion, is the worst. I think that's actually the Renegade option, in my opinion. Even though it's an extremely touching scene, especially when Edie cries in it, like, she's really sad, and she actually does cry, which is very sweet, very emotional, and your romance hugs her, I think. It's still, to me, it seems like the worst of the endings. It seems like that's the bad ending, because you didn't really solve anything, you just compromised. The Destroyer ending, in my opinion, is the one that makes the most logical sense for me personally, but if you like the Synthesis ending, so what? I'm not going to fucking debate it, I'll debate it with you. But in my opinion, the Destroyer ending makes more sense. The Synthesis ending is just bullshit. Control ending is iffy with me, I don't like it, personally. I would just stick with the Destroyer ending, in my opinion. And of course, Shepard lives in the Destroyer ending, it's still debatable, but he may not. I'm using he because my Shepard's a he. But it's difficult to say, like, if I'm going to have to say something, I will say this now. The endings, even though they are still shit, it's the epilogues that salvage the games. I'm going to be honest. So I'm going to give my overall thought. With the new scenes that are added, and the additional epilogue, basically, and the plot hole solved, the ending is satisfactory for me personally, but not to the extent that I will forgive BioWare. I still will not forgive BioWare for releasing Mass Effect 3 as is. I still will not forgive them for that, in my opinion, because it still feels like a big slap in the face, basically. I will happily admit that they did kind of redeem themselves, but they haven't earned my full forgiveness, me personally, because I still think the game was rushed beyond belief, and I honestly would have preferred if Mass Effect 3 didn't come out until next year, if I'm going to be honest. That would have given them ample time to fix everything, but EA, of course, rushing out of the ass. I'll talk a wee bit about the epilogues now, actually. The epilogues are very well done, they're very emotional, very heartfelt. They show some very well done scenes, especially, like, they show what the outcome was, like, Rannick, if you don't got the Quarians and Geth walking together, turns out really well. You get to see a Krogan baby. You get to see little baby Morden. That's what the guy called, by the way. You get to see like how Thessia turned out, and I do like the fact that you actually get to see the different planets and homeworlds with the Reapers on them. Like you get to see Thessia, Palaven, Tachanka. I don't think you get to see Surkesh. I don't think you get to see that. That's very well done. You get to see all of them going, yeah, we won, which is very nice. The artwork is actually quite well done. They couldn't exactly do full CGI cutscenes, so they had pictures, basically, artwork, which was fantastic. It's very well done. But that being said, they still didn't address all of the issues with the endings. I know this is nitpicking, but I'm a nitpicker, so fuck off if you don't like it. But they didn't really address a lot of the issues. There are still major problems with the ending in general, in my opinion. I'm trying to think of some of them off the top of my head, but I'm just so infuriated by it. It really does annoy me that they basically have just slapped us in the face, in my opinion. Even though the Extended Cut DLC does solve a lot of the problems, there are still quite a lot of big issues with me, in my opinion. Just in my opinion, there's still that feeling of lack of choice, in my opinion. Like, even though you can refuse the ending, basically refuse the 3 choices and shoot the Godchild, that to me is the biggest insult you could give anyone, because you basically lose. There's no if, buts, or whats about it. You fucking shoot the Godchild, refuse to do any of the endings, you lose. If, but, big fact, that is worse than the original ending. I'm sorry. The war assets are the major problem for me. They still mean jack shit. I'm sorry, the war assets mean jack shit. Why even have them in the game if they don't mean anything? That is the biggest problem I've got with the ending in general, because the war assets, I collected over nearly 8,000 war assets and played hours of the goddamn fucking multiplayer, and what do I get? The war assets means nothing. I don't get anything for that. The war assets mean jack fucking shit, and that's the biggest problem I've got with it, and that is the biggest insult. Hours upon hours of gameplay over a franchise, over a series of games, and the war assets mean nothing. You don't even get to see a lot of your choices. You only get to see the major choices, which is fine in me, but I want to see some of the minor choices that made a difference. Like, what happened to Shiala on Pharos? That is one. I liked Shiala's character, and I would love to know what happened to her. What happened to Omega? That's another thing. I want to see what happened to Omega, but no, we ain't getting that, so fuck off. And we don't even get to see a lot of our war assets in use. That's the biggest problem I have with it. The war assets still mean jack shit, which is a big insult in my opinion. If you were going to use the war assets, then why not use them in the ending? Huh? It's the biggest insult in my opinion. Like, the war assets mean nothing. You just choose a fucking ending. You only need like 3,100,000, I think it is. 3,100, sorry, to get the best ending with the destroyer ending, or any of the other endings, depending on your choice. I personally choose the destroyer ending. And all you get is Shepherd breathing. Sorry, excuse me. And that's it. That, in my opinion, like, they're going to have to do something else. Like, I don't know if they're going to do it in a future DLC, because there has been the hint of the new DLC called Leviathan. Apparently in the extended cut code there is a slight reference to the word Leviathan, where we get to find out more about the Reapers. I can't get it because I'm not getting money, and in my opinion I don't think I'll be buying any more DLCs for Mass Effect 3, even if I do get money, because I honestly don't feel compelled to go back. Like, if the DLC comes out like Omega or something, I may consider it, but I honestly don't care anymore. I'm done with Mass Effect 3, I think. I don't think I want to play it anymore. I think I'm done. Like, I'll just play through Mass Effect 1 and 2 again and forget 3, because it's just, the ending still is bad to me. It's still horrible. It's still, even though they corrected a lot of issues, and I kind of forgive BioWare for doing that. They did have a bit of balls and basically then was sorry, but I can't forgive them for releasing Mass Effect 3 as is. I know the blame is mostly, in my opinion, on EA for rushing the game, but BioWare are not fully out of the thing. I think BioWare really needed to grow some Krogan quads and basically say, we need more time, we need to get it working, and that's why I think also Dragon Age 3 is delayed until 2014. I would have waited until 2014 for Mass Effect 3 as well, by the way. So this is my personal message to BioWare. You haven't lost me as a fan. If anyone from BioWare is watching this, which is highly unlikely, here's my opinion. You haven't lost me as a fan, but you have lost a lot of my respect, because the ending is still bad. No matter what you do, you can't really salvage that ending in any way, shape or form. So I'm sorry, but I can't forgive them for releasing Mass Effect as is. Even with the extended cut DLC, the endings are still pretty bad. It's bearable, it's very bearable, and I think one of you actually commented on my videos and says this is the best sum up ever. As an ending to a single game, it's good, but not to a fucking franchise. Not to a full series of games. It is not a great ending. So I'm sorry. If you like the extended cut DLC, good on you. I didn't. I enjoyed it to an extent. I liked seeing some of the scenes in it, but I still don't like the ending. The endings still feel out of place. They are still horrible, and of course the war assets still mean jack fucking shit. So I think that's all I've got to say on it. Let me know what you thought of the extended cut DLC down below. If you want to keep following my videos, if you haven't already, there's a subscribe button up there. You can join the clan and be part of the community. Be part of the clan, which is what I call my subscribers, and use my clan, your community, me, and where we can share our ideas and be vocal about them. So I think that's all I've got to say on the extended cut DLC. I'm done with Mass Effect 3 in my opinion. I'm not going to be replaying it anytime soon. The multiplayer can go fuck itself, I'm sorry. The only time I'll be playing it is if I'm going to be playing with some pals, like if I can get my Xbox Gold back, I might play with a couple of the clan members, or primarily I'll probably be playing with MD, Chill, Alex and Phantom. So, I'm sorry, but in my opinion the extended cut DLC just barely salvaged it, but not by much. The extended cut DLC still kind of fails in most parts, but succeeds in a good chunk of parts. So I give props to BioWare for being able to turn a piece of shit into a good looking piece of shit, but still, the endings are a piece of shit in my opinion, and that is my honest opinion, so I think that's all I've got to say on the matter. Let me know what you thought of the extended cut DLC, but if I'm going to be honest, I'm almost done with BioWare. One more fuck up BioWare and I'm done. I'm sorry, I will be done with your games forever. I'm sorry. I have to say it, so I'm sorry about that, but you know how much Mass Effect means to me. If you don't, you can check out my previous Warrior live stream, I tell you there. You know how much the series means to me, especially with my backstory with it. So I think that's all I've got to say in the matter. So the extended cut DLC is a partial success, but mostly a fail still in my opinion, because it still doesn't give me the satisfaction that I was looking for. It still feels out of place, and the endings still are a piece of shit. Even though the epilogues are fantastic in my opinion, the endings in general are still a fail. I'm sorry. I can't help it. And fuck the Godchild. Sorry, I have to say it. Fuck the Godchild. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want, there's a subscribe button up there, but hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section down below, what you thought of the extended cut DLC. And I think that's all I've got to say on the matter, so I'll see you all later. Thanks for watching, and ciao for now.